Hello and welcome to Brew Babes podcast. I am your host, Danielle Snicker, also known as Sassy Cider Chick. I did it the
There you
right
go.
way this time. I like that. With me in studio is the amazing, always positive, very smiley. I don't know how she does it. My beer soul sister, Taylor Woods. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a bit exhausted today, but I appreciate being the smiley person. I mean, yeah, I feed off of you all too, so it totally works. So thank you.
Yeah, a little different. I am in a much better mood than last week. So, maybe we won't have any ranting and raving this week. But joining us from Grand Central, which is one of my favorite places to be, because I really do love those guys and I love the beer there, is the event goddess, my beer life mate, Kat Jones. How are you?
So good. So good. Last week was rough. I think Mercury, Taylor, you got to let us know if Mercury's like out of the microwave for this week
It's still not
because
safe.
last week was funny. I'm doing much better this week. So yeah, happy week to you guys.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
Because I do the editing, so I have to watch it back. Like, there's no I have to go through everything to make sure that things look all right, and I correct spelling on the, on the
Captions,
captions
yeah.
and everything. So
Captions, yeah.
and I'm like, wow. Like at some point, I was just laughing because some of the things they said was just I mean, they were true, all good points, but delivery was not.
If you got fire, you got fire.
Yeah,
You know?
I was a little passionate last week. I'm always passionate about, business and marketing and stuff like that. So we just kind of hit my sweet spot. And it's 4 million degrees and, all that. So,
Oh yeah,
but
it's okay. I think we all have our episodes where we're just talking about something. For me, it was the distribution episode 13.
No, and we're going to have those things, and I get that. So it has been a little bit of a shorter time since we've been together because we were a little late last week. But what has everyone been going on? Kat, what has been going on in your world since we last sat down?
So many wonderful opportunities have come about. We got invited to Bolt's Brew Fest, so I'm in the middle of planning that. We got an invitation for halfway there. We're doing lots of things up in Tallahassee, as we've talked about many episodes. But I've just been running around putting my beer everywhere. So this weekend I went to Mazzaro's and I got to hang out and meet some lovely cheese and wine human beings.
Nice.
And just do some sampling and have some fun. And then it was a little bit of a pool time for me personally. So I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on that tan for conference,
There you go.
Nice. Taylor, what have you been up to in the last week?
What have I been up to the past week? I have just working really. I mean, Friday, Saturday, rocking it, preparing for this weekend, kind of planning. We had a founder that had passed from our
Yes.
brewery, so just trying to organize that with other breweries to kind of have something in the community to celebrate him. So a lot of trying to communicate,
Yeah.
but nothing landed fully yet. But it's been a good week. Yeah.
That's good. I have actually had quite an interesting week. So I went to 5 breweries this week. So everyone knows I'm on a tour.
So what number now?
So I'm at number 22.
22.
So I hit number 22 this week. So I have been a little all over the place, but I'm okay. So I am in a better mood, but I do have a little bit of a, hey, you guys, I really, really love the beer community. And there's only one thing pretty much in the world that I'm afraid of. And it is frogs. And
Me too.
I have to add,
We've talked about this.
Can we put a little moratorium on frog themed breweries for the love of Kat and me? Can we just
They're terrifying.
stop with
They're terrifying.
There's not live
little
frogs there, are there? It's
peppers.
not like
No.
there's an aquarium of frogs, like a
No.
touch of,
No. But I went to Two Frogs a couple weeks
I was
ago.
going to say,
for
did you go to
their
Bullfrog
anniversary
Creek or did you go to Two Frogs?
I did. I went to Bullfrog Creek. So a couple weeks ago, I went to Two Frogs, and they have what to everyone else is probably a very lovely little frog couple on the wall, but to me was terrifying. It was like being in a horror movie, except there was beer, so I got through it. And then this weekend on Saturday, I went to Bullfrog Creek, and they do not have as many frogs. So let me give them some props. They do not have as many frogs, but they were still kind of frog themed. And in my video, and I'm apologizing in advance, Bullfrog Creek, I know that you told me the name of the beer, and I did not say it in the video because it is frog themed, and I couldn't bring myself to doing it. So if you want to see that video, it'll be coming out later on this week. I did go to Bullfrog Creek, and none of it just happened to work out that way. But they also, if you did not see, they had a little bit of a little kerfluffle over a menu situation. Someone gave them a 1-star review because they didn't have paper menus on hand and wouldn't give this person one of their actual like in-restaurant menus. And so there was a little bit of that, and I just happened
to witness it all.
no, the review happened a few days before, but I was not going there this week, and I did not go there because of this situation. It just happened that my schedule changed around, and that's how I ended up there. But I also promise I did not steal a menu. I did not give anyone any crap for having a menu. I feel like these menus are now collector's items, so there was like this large urge to take a menu, but I did not. Mainly because it said the word frog on it, but
Are there gator themed breweries? I feel like there's more frog than turtle and gators, and I think
Why do we
Florida
have
is
so many
gator. But that might
frogs?
traumatize more
I don't
people
know that
if
we
it's
have a
gator.
gator themed brewery. I mean, we've got
No.
like Swamp Head. We've definitely got gator themed beers.
But not
But I
gator.
don't know about it.
Yeah. Like, just,
All right.
just give me a little, like, show us a little love and stop with the frog themes. 2 is enough. Honestly, 2 is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Think about like the shark theme, like how many people are traumatized coming to take my job. It's shark theme, and they're like, I don't know.
It's kind of like if there was like a clown themed, and I think there is actually a clown themed brewery that Big Top,
Top. It's
does
Sarasota.
the
Yeah.
Big Top Collective.
Oh,
And clown shoes. Somebody makes clown shoes. I forget who that is, but their can art is terrifying. They definitely play on the creepy clown kind of a
obscure.
thing. No, I'm right there with you, Daniel. They
Yeah,
both. But the
no,
great
like,
thing about both of those places is they make really good beers.
I
And they're
know.
really, really good people. I know Chad and Jamie very well, both the owners, and they're very, very nice. So
They're such great people, and I feel bad having to be terrified of their locations.
You did it though. It's
but I
good
did.
exposure therapy for you.
Powered through. It was hard. Luckily, they had beer. But I do have a little bit, and you guys actually don't know this. A lot of times I tell you guys things offline, but nobody knows this. As of like a couple days ago or right at the end of last week, and my admissions was accepted. I am going technically back to college.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
that.
this is not a new, like, I have a degree in business with an emphasis in accounting. The reason why I don't have a full accounting degree is because there is a math class that I took 4 times and could not pass. But
We're
I have
not
a
math
degree
people.
in business.
Nope.
I'm not a math person. In business with a specialization in accounting, but so what I realized is that every time when I was in business school, any class that it was like take from this list, what I always chose was a marketing class. So I don't have a marketing degree, but I'm so close that I'm only like 6 classes away.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so because I had so many business classes and anytime I got to choose, I chose a marketing class, and I'm so close to the degree that I did. I've been doing the paperwork for like 6 or 7 weeks now. But I'm a returning student. That always kind of messes things up. But yes, I am now re-enrolled in school and will be finishing up. I have 2 semesters, and then I will be finishing up my degree in marketing.
Woo!
That's
super
fantastic.
exciting.
Congratulations, girl. I'm so proud of
So
you.
thank you. Yeah, it's something I love it. I love marketing. I should have done that from the beginning. But I had been a staff accountant and when I went back to college, and everyone was like, "Well, you're so good at accounting," which I am, and I get that. And so I went back because that's what everyone told me I should do
Right.
instead of following what I love to do. So, but yeah, so I'm going to finish that up in the next couple semesters. So
That's super exciting.
it is. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I am excited about that. I didn't want to say anything until I knew everything was going to be okay with going back and everything, because I have not been back to college in many, many, many years. Before any of my kids no, I think I did have some kids when I graduated. But anyways, yeah, so super
So
exciting.
this means we get to throw you like a keg party, right? Since you're like college
Yeah.
style. Like, let's get the party
again.
pump out. Let's go.
College kid. That is awesome.
At a legal
So
drinking age.
yeah. Yeah. So that's exciting. And I'll kind of let you guys know as I go, like how things are going. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. It's a done deal. And I will probably start classes in August as
Okay.
long as we can get everything kind of lined up correctly because we're running out of time. But yes, so there we go. So in that, because apparently, like once you decide you're going back to school, you just really, really like to study. I have been looking through some numbers. So not obviously, I just like numbers because we've talked about other studies before, but there's a lot of talk right now in the alcohol industry because a study came out. And I can pull who did it. I kind of looked real quick and I normally source everything and I didn't this time, but alcohol consumption, well, alcohol sales overall nationwide is down like $817 billion.
Oh, dang.
Or yeah, 817 billion. That could be over like, a certain year span and things like that. But there was a couple studies that kind of went together. Alcohol overall is just way down. But there was another study where cuz that was just a study of you can just take everybody's financials and look
What they're
at it.
spending it on, yeah.
Yeah, and what the spending is and things like that. So alcohol itself, alcohol consumption is down, alcohol sales are down and all that, which it's a bad economy. We know the younger generation isn't, drinking. So it's shocking, but it's not,
Right.
you know? But this is what I found more shocking is there was another study done and it was breaking down the people who are not drinking alcohol. They were asked why. And this happens every year, but this year one of the biggest category of I'm not drinking is because they're no longer interested in drinking. Which, normally we see a lot of other factors, but this was the time it's 31%. 31% of people who are not drinking alcohol are simply not interested, not only in not alcohol, it's not THC, it's not anything. They are not interested in drinking any mind altering anything at
Right.
all. Then the next one under that is health, which kind of I can understand that. And then the third one down is price. So I think a lot of times we look at like, craft beer is down because it's a bad economy, or, alcohol is down because, people have to worry about spending. And that is a factor,
Right.
but it's not the biggest factor anymore. And in fact, it's not even the second biggest factor anymore. We have and I wanted to bring this up because one of the comments made is like, well, because they were saying that, the next generation that is now starting to get into that, what would be the biggest buying, category is not drinking alcohol in record low. They're drinking alcohol in record low rates. And someone had kind of made the comment is like, well, that shouldn't bring the number down, because if it's $81 billion that everybody is spending, and I'm just throwing out numbers now, if it's $81 billion that everybody's spending and the new people aren't adding to that, it shouldn't
Right.
change
It
the
should just stay
numbers.
the same. Right.
But that's not how that works. Is people, because of health reasons and because of just people age out, like as you get to a
Right.
certain age, you
Yeah.
just get older, your health becomes more of a
Right.
priority. I mean, in some instances pass away and things like
Right.
that. So if you always have to have a new crop of people buying any product in any market. And in alcohol, we're not seeing, it's not only that it's not keeping up, it is like taking a nosedive. The number three reason is the price. And we are going to see in the next couple weeks, there's going to be a blanket tariff on imports from Europe, which is where a lot of certain European brews, you're getting your yeast there, you're getting certain hops from over there and things like that. Not everything comes from Washington State. So you're going to see that
Don't tell them
margin
that.
for people. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But the margin is going to get smaller. So either breweries are going to have to raise their price or they're going to have to take less profit. And this is something that I'm seeing because I kind of look at the market overall nationally and then kind of narrow it down to Tampa. This is something that I think we need to start being much more concerned about as people who make our living in the industry, but just in general, what that's going to mean for the industry moving forward
Yeah.
and what that means. And this is why I kind of sent it to you guys this way. Obviously, margins are going to go down, less consumers in the marketplace. What do you think breweries should do when it comes to pricing? Should they be running sales? I put this thing, it's called a loss leader, which is what we see places like McDonald's doing. So if you look, if you've heard radio commercials or any of the commercials, all of a sudden McDonald's and other fast food, but McDonald's always kind of stays on these trends first. So I actually do look to them as kind of market trends more than other places. They now have lowered some of their pricing is now back down to the value menu pricing. They couldn't quite do the 99 cent like they used to do. Now they're at $1.50 for a lot of their easy to make menu items. So then that's what's called a loss leader. You make almost no money on it, but it gets people in because maybe a drink isn't that price or fries aren't. So they come in for other things, but you have a loss on the what they are coming in for. So, like, should breweries be closing less hours, which, takes away from some of their overhead? Should they be running more sales, or should they be making like loss leaders that are always on tap? Like, or, something else that maybe I'm not thinking of. What is, and I'll go Taylor first. Like, what do you think would be a way to kind of stay
Afloat.
Yeah, right
Afloat.
now.
Well, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the first thing when you're talking about the EU imports, I'm wondering how Oktoberfest will be affected in general when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is tricky.
It's a big subject.
I mean, I think like having more options, like the NAs in there, and I sound like a broken record, but I think it's like focus on the community. Focus on the community space. If people are in the space, then they're going to purchase something and they'll find
Right.
something that fits, or they just buy a soda and hang out. Like, or you have things that people want to come to, not just around like alcohol centric.
Right.
And then maybe I understand like cutting hours or the loss leader, like having something that's easy drinking, a little special. You get anything like that, I think helps. I don't know if it's like a pat answer, like this is the way that you will fix it, but it's kind of in the summer, since it's slow, little trial and error. Like, let's try this a little bit. Let's try this.
Yeah.
And then utilize what you have. Like, if you have good employees behind the bar that can talk people, I mean, that's people come for beer, but they stay for the people there.
Yeah.
And the people come back because of the connection they had with the beer tender very much almost all the time, I feel
Almost
like, unless they
always.
just want to go there and have their solo experience. And so I'd say lean into your priceless assets that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
And then get a little creative, because you're still paying rent even if you cut the hours. So that only
Right.
saves so much. You're only like, you're still running AC, you're still keeping the cooler on. Like, I feel like that one's a little like, get creative. I think it's a big opportunity to just like play around and see. You might be the leading edge of how the industry is shifting when you try new things.
Right.
Like, no one knows what this is going to be like in a few months from now, and a year from now, and 5 years from now. So be on the leading edge, be the frontiers of this industry still, even though it looks like it's going down. You never know what's going to happen, and you could be the outlier in it all.
Right. And there are going to be a lot of outliers. So, I don't want to be like doom and gloom. Everybody is going out of it. There are going to be people who do very well.
But it's a great time for creativity. I
Yeah.
mean, I think like bad times lead for innovation, and then that creates good times, and then we get lazy, and then here we go again. So
It is
use
definitely
to
a
your-
vicious cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. All right. What are your thoughts?
I'm really glad we're talking about this. I've had this conversation with different people over the past couple of years. And it's really fascinating part of the industry for me, because it's not something that I deal with on the day to day, but it absolutely affects all of us on the day to day. But your brewers, a lot of the times they're contracting hops and they're contracting grain and yeast, like you mentioned. And we get those certain beer styles that we love so much because they're coming from New Zealand, or they're coming from, Europe, or, specialty imports with wine. Even I got to hang out with some winos this past weekend over at Mazzaro's. So like just hearing them talk about the Italy region and what's going on there and how it's going to affect us here in the US. And without getting too deep into that conversation, we talked about the aluminum shortage and the tariffs on aluminum as well. Aluminum is used by even the smallest breweries that don't have a packaging line. They're using growlers. It's affecting the price of every single package to go beer, which package to go beer used to be really affordable, just as affordable as the pint at the bar. And I know everyone, consumers and industry folks have seen like, wow, we've got an $18.99 4-pack, which is not wild and not unheard of, but it's not like it's a specialty adjunct beer anymore. And the specialty adjunct beers, they're coming in at $26.99 a 4-pack, or they're super strong, barley wines of the world, forever,
Right.
whoever's crazy enough to keep making them. There's a market for them, right? But that price keeps going up as well. And it's a really interesting thing to consider that every industry is affected, but
Yes.
you gotta continue to be mindful as a business owner and as a person in the industry. You have to help the chain where you can't fix necessarily what's going on outside of getting out there and voting. But what you can do is you can support local, and you can support local on many levels. Local farmers, local produce, local breweries, obviously our favorite. But you can
Right.
you can derive certain ingredients from certain places, but just understanding the fact that it's going to be a lot cheaper to buy hops from the US right now, that's pivoting their market, because now you've got those hop brokers in different parts of the US that can grow. They're going to probably start making styles that you would typically get from like New Zealand, right? Because it's going to get so expensive that we're not going to have the opportunity to have imported things like hops. So I'm not going to get into my rant about farming and the farming industry and how crazy wild the information that I've received in the past year is a little crazy, because I never really thought about it that way. But it does get your ticker thinking. So do your own research. I'm gonna leave it there. Do your own research on who you're buying your products from and what products are owned by bigger corporations, even though you think that they're not. And beer has
Yeah,
a lot to do
absolutely.
with that as well. Beer has a huge issue, especially regional craft breweries, right? And we've talked about what makes a regional craft brewery. A regional craft brewery is anything over 15,000 barrels produced. So bigger corporations like InBev will make a craft brand and market it as craft beer and have it on your local public shelf just a little bit cheaper than the actual craft beer, even if it is a regional brewery, even if that brewery in the state of Florida is making more than, or whatever, state of Washington or state of Colorado or wherever is making, enough barrels to be in distribution in your area. Yeah, you got me on a tangent there. The original question,
Just be mindful.
No, I get it.
I think, was just like, how is that going to affect us? Like, with everything going on? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Let's fuck
mean,
around and find out.
like yeah, right? I mean, and that is the bigger thing is like, okay, we're in this market, like I'm not leaving. And I know a lot of breweries around here are like, listen, this is my passion, this is what I'm doing. I'm not leaving. So, obviously we have to come together and find a way to overcome it.
Yes.
I have had because I do work with a lot of breweries and I get a lot of like, well, we'll run a sale. I absolutely hate beer sales, by the way. Let me tell you, and this is how I look at it, and I know we have a lot of like brewery owners and insiders that do watch, and I know that they're gonna be like, like you said that stuff out loud. If you can afford to sell me that beer at $5,
Right.
then
You're a
why
loss
are you
leader.
charging 7 any other day?
Right. So,
So, and I I absolutely hate sales because of that. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
well, that's like, to me, that's being retroactive. I think if a brewery or just a brewer or brewery owner or a salesperson within a bartender, front of house, back of house, whomever, can be proactive in a different way, I think that's through education. So like, I meant to say this earlier when you asked the question, but like somebody was talking about like the cooler or whatever, and we just had issues with our cooler. Like, how do you save money? It's not like you're like making it cheaper on the consumer, but what can you do within your business to save money, and fixing things
Right.
and getting creative with that? But like, if you're not, this is a silly example, but if you're not using generational yeast. A lot of small breweries are not working with their yeast culture. They're buying new yeast every time, and it's because
Every
they
time.
don't necessarily have the capacity, the education, or because it can get messy, right? Or you don't have a lab tech, or you can't afford to hire someone to do your labs and things like that. But if you could educate yourself and your staff on how to do that and do it properly and utilize this yeast strain for multiple different beers that you're making, because you can do
Right.
that if you plan your shit correctly.
If you do it right,
That's a
yeah.
that's a huge like money saver to not have to buy new yeast every time. That's a small example, but like, if you can find different things within your business to help you save a little bit of money, or find out, that something's broken and it's costing you money because it's been
Right.
broken for so long that nobody is even thinking about it anymore because it's been broken for
Right.
so long, and then you fix your plumbing leak that you have this little tiny leak that nobody cares about. And now you've saved money on your water bill, right? And the environment.
Right.
But like, get out of the box and think like, what can I just do right now? And it has nothing to do with our menu pricing or happy hours, if you're not running a happy hour, you crazy. Get them people in them seats.
I know. I know. I
All right,
don't
that's
mind
my 2 cents.
happy
I'm done.
hours, and I will say, no, it's okay. I don't mind things like happy hours because you're saying if you come in early, which is like we can get you in. I'm talking like if you're like, and I mean happy hours like a 2 for 1 or like,
Right.
BOGOs and things like that, because that's a value add. Like if you come in at this time, then I'm going to add value to your
Right.
experience. I don't like say it where they say, oh, if you come in at this week, then if you come in for this event, it's $5 on this particular beer that I normally sell for 7. I don't like that. I think it tells your consumers that you could afford to sell it cheaper. You just choose not to, which I think is a bad precedent to set. But I love value adds, and I wish more breweries would do value adds. I wish more breweries would do free snacks or, like the popcorn machines, which
Right.
always add value. Or we say this a lot, obviously events, and you don't have to do events that cost a lot of money.
Right.
Like there's no reason, there's so many different ways to do trivias and bingos and just fun stuff. Like I just went to Title Brewing and they were doing they did Summerween, and it was a camp, like, and they had all their beer tenders are dressed like camp
Oh,
counselors, and
that's cute.
with the little thing down the nose of like, a sunscreen and all that. And it was so much fun and it was so cute, and it didn't cost anything. It just
Mm.
to have people come in, and they did a popsicle and beer pairing. So it was like if
You
you got certain beers, you could choose the popsicle that would pair it. And popsicles are
That's
so
very
cheap.
Yeah.
creative. Yeah.
And right,
Yeah. And it's fun.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, I've never done this before. Like, I want to go.
right.
When's
It's
this going to
it's
happen?
super hot outside and I'm going to have a popsicle with my beer, and the popsicle is going to be free, and so I love things like that, make it an experience. And I'm also starting to get more into for breweries, and I used to kind of like not I was indifferent to the idea, but I'm liking more is leagues. If you have like dartboards or a
Oh,
pool table or even just a book club, like where the same people are coming in to connect at a specific time,
Yep.
because that gets them, now they're not only a regular of yours, like every Tuesday is book club, and so they're buying
Yeah.
a beer every Tuesday, but
And
they're
that
also
ties right back in
connecting
with
with
what
those
Taylor
people.
was
And
saying with community.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it builds that community that is now going to look at your place as their community meeting space, and so they'll come in more often. So I actually hate when I don't like when breweries do less hours. I think
Mm-mm.
that it just makes it to where you're telling your regulars like, oh, the like, especially here in Florida, oh, the snowbirds aren't here, so we're not going to serve you as many
Right.
hours. You don't have as much opportunity because snowbirds went up north. And I get the numbers of it, and I get why they do it, because they're trying to save on that overhead. Honestly, I would be like, hey, let's do beer school.
Yeah.
I actually pitched this idea to a couple breweries, and it was a little too late in the season to do it, but like a summer school, but it be beer themed,
Yeah.
and have like,
Yep.
all of it like you're back in high school, but once a
Yeah.
week you come in and it's beer school and all these different
Mhm.
themes, or like instead of vacation Bible school, it's vacation beer
I
school.
love that.
And, and I think that you can really play on those things to bring people in. Right? I'm telling you right now, I pitched it to a couple breweries, but it was just too late. It was too close to summer to really make it happen. But I want
Yeah.
to do it next year with a brewery, like either a vacation beer school or, a summer beer school or whatever it is. I think that there's a lot of craft beer enthusiasts that are very local, and I think that for us in Florida, especially in the summer where we have to like kind of like bring those locals in, and those are value adds. I'm always
Right.
on the team. I'm always on the side of like add value to their stay instead of making things cheaper or making your hours
Right.
less available. Don't
Yeah.
become less available. Give them something more to come
Right.
in for.
Or even like do like meet talk with the brewers or something
Yeah.
beforehand, or small business meetup, little things that just have people in there when
more
it's lull.
tours,
Yeah.
hey, where it's a brew day, we'll take 10 people and you can kind of see how we brew things. Make it to where it's not like 30 people and now you don't have space to do anything, but make it very
Limited,
like
yeah.
limited. It's 5
Exclusive.
Can
people.
we bring
Right. It's
beer
an
tours
exclusive.
back? Like,
I would
I
love
feel
that.
like they
Right.
used to be such a thing. And like, I know it was like beer dinner, pint nights, brewery tours, but like, that's where I learned so much about beer and got so
I did.
excited about beer and so curious, beer
And got
curious,
to try things you've
from
never
asking
had before.
questions. Yeah,
I
I think
wish
that's a
more.
great idea.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to see breweries that either if they do have a kitchen, work with their kitchen staff to make a very like beer pairing and food, make it a date night where you come in, you get a 3-course meal and the beers that match with it. And, or if you don't have a kitchen, work with a food truck, work with a chef that comes in and do those. Sometimes I think we overcomplicate things in every market.
Yeah.
I'd like to see us go back to the basics of breweries that work with charities all the time and throw charity events, the food and beer dinners that we used to always have. It would be like a farm to table restaurant that would come in and cater this and you'd buy tickets for it. I think we should be going back to the basics of beer was meant to bring people together. It was always meant to build a community. And I think that we're so focused on who has this IPA and who's making the better one of this and who has more flavor in this, instead of just going down back to the basics of like, let's bring in every community is going to be different. Different charities, different events are going to talk to that community, but being more of a community space and adding value to every visit than just being like, well, we'll slash hours, slash prices.
Right.
I feel like you and I especially feel this way sometimes, but I feel like we forget that beer is supposed to be fun. Like beer is supposed to
Yes.
be, it's just beer, guys. Like, yes, we do this for a living. And yes, sometimes we run into problems, just like every situation ever, but like
Right.
I feel like, and I hope it's not just me and my continued cold, bitter heart, slowly rotting or whatever. But like, I feel like we really just need to get back to having doing
Yes.
good
No,
shit
that's the whole
with
point.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. I want to go back to the point where beer is fun and it brings everyone together
Yeah.
instead of like worrying about like which beer is at what place. And let's just make it fun. Like, let's all hang out with each other again, and put it on video, people. If you didn't see last week's episode, put it on video.
Yeah.
Let other people know
Get
you're
that
having fun.
content. That's really funny. So when I'm done drinking this beer and I go hang out with Eric and Dan in the back, I'm going to make a little short video of us goofing around in the back
Awesome.
and talking about how amazing this podcast is. So I'm going to get both of them to
That is
follow us too on Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, and what we have learned, and this is our we said this off before we got on, but it is our 6-month anniversary. Our launch was on January 17th. We are now at January 14th, so or 13th.
July.
I don't of July. Yeah, that's right. I have no idea what day it is or what we're doing. It's July. We're right at the 6-month mark. This will be the one closest to 6 months. So, but what we learned is we don't ask people enough to follow us. So if you're not following us on social media, please do so now. Cause obviously thousands of people are watching. We've dug into our numbers and, more than 17,000 individual new viewers have seen us since we started the podcast 6 months ago. So,
That's
you're out
amazing.
there.
Subscribe.
Yeah, almost 50,000 views through all of our social medias and all that. So honestly, like over 50,000, by the way. We've had over 1,000 downloads of our podcast since we started. So, the numbers are there. Like and follow us. I mean, come on, guys. But no, and put it on video. Just make videos. I feel like I should just have a t-shirt on all the time that says, if it's not on video, it didn't happen. You know how we used to say that to, like, I don't know about you guys, but because I have kids. And I used to say to my kids, like, you have to take the pictures or it didn't happen. Pictures or it didn't happen. So I'm going to make myself a t-shirt that says, put it on video or it didn't happen. Like, that's it from here on out.
That's literally, that's the reason that I started my beer Instagram was like, I'm not really a big logger on Untapped. I like to look at Untapped to see like where I can find the beer elsewhere maybe, but like I don't typically put like 5 stars. This beer was great.
Right.
Absolutely. Sorry. Homies. I love
It's
that. But I genuinely, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I genuinely was like taking a picture. That's why my St. Pete Beer Babe logo is a photo of me just like this. Because I was just taking pictures of every beer that I had and just putting it on social media, to like,
yeah.
I don't know, to get other like minded people around me, I
Right.
guess. But yeah, you got to take a picture. Otherwise, you didn't even drink that beer. You got to drink another one.
Right. It didn't happen. It's like a tree falling in the woods. And now we're at a point now where if you didn't put it on video, I don't even know if the picture's real.
Like that looks edited.
Put it on video. If you like, honestly, obviously, I'm hitting all the breweries, and I'm ordering their most popular beer.
I
And
love your little content, little video.
yeah, and I am, kind of saying this is what I get from it. I'm not doing it as a like review of the beer. All the places I'm going are lovely places, and they have a bestseller, and they have a bestseller because it's good. So I'm going into it as this is a good beer going in, but here's the notes I'm getting. If this is what you like, if you like a piney hop profile over a more citrus one, this is going to be the right one for you. So if you haven't seen those, you can follow me on this wild trek. And I am going to do some new ones that are comparisons of like just a lot of the more popular styles and like which one I liked more. Again, it doesn't matter. Everyone else may be like, no, she sucks at tasting beer. And I'm completely disagree with her. Okay, cool. Like, this,
To each their own.
yeah, this is my video, but no. So but seriously, and I wish more beer enthusiasts would do that, by the way. We give a lot of advice for breweries, and we tell beer enthusiasts, go to your local brewery. Honestly, if you're at a local brewery, take a picture, take a video, and tell people about it, because that is going to get more people interested. It's not only on the brewery to do videos to market themselves and do pictures and stuff like that to connect with people. I had a customer come in yesterday and say, I consider Unrefined my home brewery. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being so dedicated to coming in here. And you know what I asked them? Hey, take a picture of your beer and post it on your socials. Tag Unrefined. Because that's one of those things that now all those people, like, you can be a marketing person for the breweries you love. Literally snap a picture. Honest, better take a video.
Yep.
You can do for your local brewery. I love that. Yes. No, honestly, every brewery needs to put that poster up. And we'll put Kat's face on it 'cause she's beautiful. And it could be the new, like, oh, it could be Bob Lorber. Yeah, yeah, it has to be Bob Lorber. We have to get Mo and Bob Lorber together.
A photo shoot.
Yeah. We'll get Mo and Bob Lorber to like do the point and be like, we'll make posters. It'll be
I love that.
awesome. No, I I love that. I think that's a great idea. And I will like we always say like when a brewery is closing, that's all of a sudden when everybody's like, oh, I love this place. And now they go there 10 times before it closes. Like, honestly, if you don't want to see your favorite breweries close, go in there, snap a picture and share it. Social media is free. It takes nothing to do it. It's not, snap a picture, take a video. Hey, we're here and we love this place. Like, look at how many people are here. And then Greg West is playing music and it's so much fun. I don't, just because the brewery staff doesn't have to be the only ones doing that. The more
Right.
people that do it, the better. So, everyone, like, let's come together. Alcohol is hurting, beer is hurting. And the way to do this is to get back to our basics, start having fun, start enjoying each other's company again. And then the best way to do that is to post it everywhere
show
so that
proof
more
of it
people
all. Do all that, but take pictures.
yeah, more people come in and do that. So that's our 2 cents or 8 cents or 6 cents or however many cents. I love the industry. I know you guys love the industry. So, this is just our way of saying like, we want to help out seeing it get better. So, you know, because we love you guys. So what do you guys have going on? Where can people see you? Where can people connect and take pictures and promote our podcast as much as the breweries by saying, hey, I saw one of the Brew Babes out in the wild.
Right.
Kat, where are you going to be this week? Where can someone see you? They're so great. Oh, nice. Right.
There you
Nice.
go.
It's a big deal. Yes.
Singing. Right. It's a party.
Yeah, they're fun. We'll bring it
Yeah.
back.
that'd be-
Awesome. Taylor, what I know some of what you have going on.
Yeah.
What is what's going on this
So
week?
this week my schedule's a little different. So I'll be behind the bar more than usual this week. So I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But then Saturday is my birthday.
Yay!
And speaking of just getting out and having fun, I'm just throwing my birthday party at the brewery while I'm behind the bar, and it's a costume party. So it's a blank walks into the bar party, dress however. I know a few people have told me, I don't know, it seems a lot of people are going to surprise me. So I'm kind of, I don't know who I'll recognize and who I won't. I'll be maybe a hot dog or a 5 second rule or just something ridiculous and comfortable. So yeah, everyone's invited. It'll be a blast, but that's kind of how I'm going to, yeah, end up the week and then probably go kayaking on Sunday or something.
I am so excited. I still have not picked out exactly what I'm going to be when I walk into the bar. I have a couple different options because, of course, if you know me and if you've ever seen me on a themed event day, I mean, I am
All
all
out.
decked out always. So I have a lot of options, and I'm not sure which one I am going to choose. But I will be out at Commerce Brewing on Friday. I will not be working behind the bar. I'm actually going to be on the other side of the bar because the head brewer, Jamie, is leaving. That is his last day. And he is moving up to Georgia to be able to join another brewery up there. So I'm super happy for him. He is absolutely an amazing person and been in the brewery industry for a long time. So I'm really happy to be able to go over there to his send off party. That'll be on Friday night. I will be visiting breweries. Who knows where? It's going to be wherever the wind takes me. I tried to make a plan, but I realized I'm really bad at sticking to it. A little too free spirited to go, these are the breweries I'm going to this week because I just kind of go wherever. And then on Sunday, because the only time you can see me behind the bar for the summer right now is on Sundays. But I will be at Unrefined behind the bar on Sunday. We do next week. If you are, and I'm going to keep saying this, we have Pink Boots Mix and Mingle next week on Wednesday at Common Dialect at 7 p.m. If you are a woman who loves beer or any other fermented beverage and works in that industry, wine, kombucha, or like beer, or I don't even know what else is fermented, but I'm sure there's other things. Come and see us. Come and join us at Common Dialect at 7 p.m. next week. And then we start our travels because we travel. I think I added it up and it's like 10 days in like a 2 week period
Oh, wow.
because we're like in Jacksonville for 3 days. Then we come home for like five. Then we're in Tallahassee for like 5 or 6 days. So we start just getting out there. Event season is upon us and like we will be out and about. I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm so excited to kind of bring this show on the road in some sense. I'll be out promoting the podcast all over the place, but also connecting with other breweries and other beer enthusiasts all over the place. I know you're going to do the same. We're doing some travel together. We're going to be in some of the same places together, and so I'm super excited. We've had a amazing 6 months, and I'm so excited for everything that we've already accomplished and then everything that we have coming up. Some of the things that we have talked about and some things that we have not because we cannot yet. I know that drives me and Kat crazy because we always have. We have. I know. I know there's so much next week. We have so much more cool stuff coming out. But so stay tuned, like, subscribe, whatever else you need to do. We got to bring those numbers up. Come on, because we know you guys are watching. But thank you guys so much for an amazing 6 months, and can't wait to continue this journey with you two and our listeners as we get into even more exciting things. But we will see you next time.